Hello, I am author Natasha Frazier, and I am back with the character chats for Through Thick and Thin Love, Lies, and Consequences, Book 2. And here enters a new character, Chloe. Chloe is Rico's wife, the woman that he committed his life to. And here he is running around town chasing another woman. And see, enters the picture when Reagan calls Rico's phone, and he left his phone at home. But he had her name saved under another name, of course, right? Raymond. And his wife picks up, and before she could say anything, Reagan just blurts out, and saying, "Hey, I need to see you." And she's looking at the phone. What? Wait, what's going on? Um, Screen says Raymond, but there's a woman's voice on the other end. And once Chloe says, "Hey, who's this?" Reagan hangs up, thinking like, wait, do I have the wrong number? What's going on? And Chloe calls her back. Eventually, they decide to meet each other. And so I'm going to read a little snippet of what happens when they meet. And at the point when they do meet at a coffee shop, Chloe calls Rico so that he can meet them there to get to the bottom of what's actually happening. As Rico raced to the coffee shop, he tried to come up with the right apology that would appease Chloe and save their marriage. If Reagan had shared everything, which he had no doubt that she did, then Chloe must be dying inside. He banged his fist against the steering wheel in frustration. There was likely nothing that he could say to charm himself out of this. This would be one time that his smooth talk would not be able to save him. When he arrived, he parked next to Chloe and hopped out of his car. He ran into the building wearing the look of a deer caught in headlights. He paused in the doorway to see both women turn to face him. Were they ganging up on him? He commenced a slow stride to the table and took a seat next to his wife, looking from her to Reagan, trying to read their expressions. Reagan did not speak. In fact, she turned her attention toward his wife, hardly acknowledging his presence. "Rico, choose your words carefully because I'm only going to ask you this once," his wife stated calmly, eyes burning a hole through his skull. "Do you know this woman?" She tilted her head toward Reagan, never taking her eyes off him. Running his tongue along the back of his teeth, he indeed thought carefully before answering. There was no easy way to tell the truth. Quickly darting his eyes to Reagan and then back to Chloe, he scooted his chair closer to hers. "Yes, but please let me explain." Ignoring his plea, Chloe asked, "Were you having an affair with her?" Her voice became slightly elevated, but not enough to alert the other patrons. "It didn't mean anything. Chloe, baby, listen," he began, but again she cut him off. Meanwhile, Reagan's blood was beginning to boil. It didn't mean anything. She could have pulled out the printouts of countless letters that he'd written to her about missing her, loving her being all that he wanted in a woman, and him wanting to marry her. But proving her point would further hurt his wife, and she wasn't there to do that. Resisting the urge to reach over and strangle him, she interrupted. "Excuse me, can I say something?" Reagan treaded lightly. She no longer wanted to be in the middle of whatever their issues were. She wanted out, and that was her primary reason for contacting Rico one last time. But Rico and Chloe stared at her, Chloe wondering how this woman could become a third party in their marriage. "I don't want anything from either of you," stated Reagan, holding her palms up in surrender. "In fact, I plan to raise this baby without support from you. My only request is that Rico sign over his parental rights to this baby," Reagan said, pulling out a piece of paper and handing a pen to Rico. So here is Reagan again trying to make things right as well. She figures if she can get Rico to sign over his rights, that will be it. She can get him out of her life. Her troubles will be over. Now Rico has a decision to make. Does he, sign over his rights to Reagan, hoping that he and Chloe can get back on track? How is Chloe going to feel about this? Will she let him do that? What happens as the wife, Chloe? How is she feeling right now? What decisions should she or does she make? So We don't hear much about them after this scene, after the decision is made, because their story picks up in Shattered Vows, Love, Lies, and Consequences. Book 3 is mostly about Chloe and Rico and what happens with their marriage. So check out the book. Let me know what you think. Does Chloe make the right decision? Does Rico make the right decision? Let us know what you think. Would you have done the same thing? All right. Again, NatashaFrazier.com, or you can pick up the book from Amazon.